Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm here today with a video response. This one is to Martin at Martin's Musings, and it's for his fantastic video, Desert Island Discs. I think I've seen Martin's and April at Tarot and Witchery so far, but I think there are some other people that have done it, so I'm sure I'll have a look at some other videos. But I just wanted to give my little take on it, really, even though it was a couple of months ago. I hope it's still relevant. I seem to always be late with these VR videos, but there we go. I have a long list of videos that I want to do, and as per usual with me, I have too many ideas and not enough energy to do any of it, really. So, but anyway, here I am. It's a nice sunny Sunday morning, and I thought I would have a cup of hibiscus tea and sit and tell you about my desert island discs. So I've got, for my first deck, so this tag is, you can have 2 tarot decks, 1 oracle deck and 1 book, and they are what you will have on your desert island for a year. And I think Martin had made some rules about it. I think you weren't allowed to take a journal. but other than that, I think it was whatever you felt. So there we go. So my first deck of tarot cards was just easy for me, really. It's these. It's my Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which I've had for 30 years now, I think. I'm not going to show them to you because you all know what this deck looks like. I'm sure many of you have it, but I've had it for around 30 years. It seems to sort of fit my hand properly. It's sort of, I don't riffle shuffle or anything my cards, just because I've got some problems with the mobility in my hands, and there also just doesn't seem to be a very good connection between my hands and my brain. So shuffling is not a strength of mine, and so I don't ever do anything fancy. These have never been riffle shuffled or anything like that, but they do seem to fit my hand nicely, and they're just comforting. Like I said, this was the first deck that I ever owned. I used this deck to learn tarot, and for many, many years it was the only deck that I had. And I use this deck these days only to read for myself. I don't use it to read for anybody else. And it just gives me good advice every single time. So this was a no-brainer for me, really. My trusty old Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So there's that. The second deck that I wanted to take is the same actually as April's at Tarot and Witchery, but it really just had to be. I bought this deck maybe a couple of months ago now, sometime in the summer, I'm not sure. It's the second edition of the Marielle tarot, which I fell in love with immediately. As soon as I saw it, to be honest, as soon as I saw other people reviewing it, as soon as I got it home, I mean, it's just, I just love it. It's a beautiful deck. So many of the cards in this deck are just works of art in themselves. They're things that I would have hanging on my wall, given half a chance. Not all of them, some of them are a tad disturbing, but many of the images in these cards are just stunning. You could easily have these hanging on your wall and look at them every single day, couldn't you? They're just beautiful cards, but so layered in information that I haven't really done them any justice just yet, to be honest. I use them sometimes with myself. I haven't really used them particularly in any videos on YouTube as yet, just because I feel to give them any justice really, I'd have to refer to the book, and it just doesn't seem right to be looking at the book while you're doing a public tarot reading on YouTube. So I mean, just look at these cards. They're just amazing. I just absolutely love them. I was hoping to get to my favourite one. I mean, look at that, it's the Page of Swords. You know, whoever would think that was the Page of Swords? They're really not traditional in much of their imagery. Look at that, look, they're just fantastic. The Seven of Cups. I just love them. And I'm aware that to really do them justice at any point, I need to really sit and work with them solidly for a period of time and use the book. And so what better time than if I was on a desert island for a year? So whether I'm allowed to take a book or not, I would be taking this deck with the guidebook that comes with it, and this would be my study for the year. So there we go, the Mary L deck, a beautiful, beautiful deck, but one that really needs, I think, quite a lot of time spent with it really to really do it any justice at all. My Oracle deck is another one actually that I would have to take the book with, and as I said, if you were going to take, other than taking away a deck of cards like my Rider-Waite-Smith, which are familiar and comforting and feel like home to me, I guess, to me the whole idea of being on a desert island for a year would be to really get away from all of the other trappings of life and be able to really invest my time and energy into learning something thoroughly. So again, there's lots of oracle decks I could take that I know would give me good advice, that I like to look at, that feel familiar or comforting to me. But again, I think it would just be the perfect time to take something that I've had trouble investing enough time and energy in, and it would have to be Kim Kranz's Wild Unknown Archetype cards, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, but these again are a deck of cards that without the book they don't really mean a great deal, do they? You know, you can interpret and intuit certain amounts of information from these cards, but to really do these justice properly, you need to refer to the fantastic book that comes with it. You know, there are some oracle decks that are just made really by the guidebook that comes with them, and this is one of them. I'm fascinated with archetypes, to be honest, anyway. I've got 3 archetype decks, Caroline Myss, and I've also got the Wisdom Well as well, which I've done videos on. This is my 3rd and newest archetype deck, and it's the one that I'm least familiar with, and I really, really do enjoy using this. I used this for nearly a month after I bought it as my daily card pull, just to see if I could sort of really get to know this card or this deck in any more depth, and I still don't really feel like I have or do. So this would be my other deck for sure, and I think this would actually work really well with the Mary L deck. They're both kind of not dark, but certainly multi-layered, and require quite a bit of time and reflection really to understand them. You know, they're not things that, you know, I've not used this deck very often in public tarot readings on YouTube, just because I feel I have to get the book out and read from the book in order to really give the proper information about the cards. So it would, you know, a whole year with this deck, I feel like I'd perhaps come away and feel like I did understand it. So there we go. The tarot cards and the oracle cards were easy, to be honest. It wasn't difficult really to think about what I might want to take away with me. Excuse me. But the book was much, much harder. And I thought about this a lot, and everybody else I've watched has done a book that's kind of metaphysical, a factual book of some kind or another. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, with the Mary L and the Wild Unknown, that really is enough of a study for me. You know, that involves a lot of shadow work and a lot of kind of digging deep within myself. So I thought, knowing me, I really need something I can laugh at, and I need fiction. I need fiction. I need something that transports me to another world, that takes me out of myself. Yeah, and what I really, really wanted to take, to be honest, I'll show you that first, even though I'm aware I'm only allowed one book. What I really wanted to take, and what I'm not taking, is these, because it's a trilogy. If it was all in one book, I might have had this as my choice, but this is A Discovery of Witches, and this, I think, is one of my favourite sort of modern trilogies of fiction ever, really. I love the romance of these books. I love the relationships between all the characters in these books. I love the drama. I just love these books, really. And like I said, if I was allowed to take a trilogy, so more than one book, it would be these. But I don't think I'm allowed. But I had to show you them anyway. And the TV series, actually, of A Discovery of Witches is fab. It's brilliant. So I would highly suggest that you have a look at those books, or the TV series at least. So the book that I ended up with, that I decided upon in the end, is one of my old trusty favourites, a bit like my tarot cards. It's comforting, familiar. I must have read this book from cover to cover 10 times in my life since I've owned it, and I've got several of his other books as well, and they just never fail to make me smile, and sometimes make me just roll around laughing. I don't know whether it's going to be everyone's cup of tea or not, but it certainly is mine, and it is Bill Bryson's A Walk in the Woods. And as I said, I've had this book probably since it came out, because I've got several other of his books, like Neither Here Nor There, and The Lost Continent, Notes from a Small Island. This was published in 1997, actually, which, God, that's a while ago, isn't it? So yeah, I think I've read this book at least 10 times over, and it's about, I'm sure you're all familiar with who Bill Bryson is. He's American, isn't he? But he's lived in the UK on and off throughout his life, and he's just written lots of books about his travels and his experiences in different countries, and this one is about his adventure walking is it the Appalachian Trail? Have I said that correctly? Appalachian Trail. So walking across America, really, with his friend Katz, who is a man that he backpacked with and travelled with in Neither Here Nor There, which was his journeys across Europe, which is another really funny book. But there's just so many there's so many bits in this book that I just absolutely love. I think it's fantastic. And yeah, I think this would be a good bedtime book for me. It would be a good time when I needed some light relief away from the Mary L and the wild unknown. Yeah, I think if I took another factual book or another kind of spiritual or metaphysical book, I think it would probably be too much for my mind. I really do need that kind of escapism of in books. And if I didn't have TV to get that from, I would definitely have to get that from a book. So yeah, it's Bill Bryson, A Walk in the Woods. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's my desert island discs. It'd be fantastic if anybody else was going to do this tag. I think it's a really fun one. So thanks, Martin. And I really enjoyed April's choices as well. Like I said, I think she chose the Mary L deck as her sort of study for tarot cards. So thanks for watching. Thanks so much to all my new subscribers recently. It's been fantastic to get some new people to chat to and engage with in the comments. That's been really nice. And I hope to see you again soon. There's another couple of VRs that I'd like to do, and I hope to get round to those quite soon. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and please do leave me some feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear from any of you about my choices and what your choices would be with this tag. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.